With Kawasaki's KX450F undergoing a complete redesign for 2016, apparently it wasn't the KX250F's turn to receive any love, as it is the only Japanese 250cc motocrosser not to receive any noteworthy upgrades for next racing season. 2016 Kawasaki KX450F review. In fact, we might as well get the changes that Kawasaki made this year out of the way right now, because it's a pretty short list. The only engineering upgrade was the move to a stronger, more durable bolt at one location inside the engine cases. Other than that, the KX250F receives a slightly different shade of green on the various sanitized plugs and other parts that dress up its engine. The rear fender, that is, now green instead of white, and a remarkably subtle change to the graphics on the radiator shrouds. That's it. But despite its lack of improvements, the 2016 KX250F is still a competitive machine. In fact, we expect to see a lot of them getting hammered around motocross tracks all over the US, not only because of Kawasaki's tremendous dedication to amateur rider support through its Team Green program, but also because there is still a lot to like in the quarter-liter quacker. The heart of this little green beast is still the product of a considerable championship pedigree. The liquid-cooled 249cc VOHC 4-valve engine uses a proven 77.053.6mm bore and stroke, with a version of the reinforced bridged box piston that Kawasaki pioneered in motocross. Derived from Formula One race car technology, the bridged box piston features extremely short skirts, instead relying on reinforced external ribs on the underside of the piston to maintain rigidity. This design was last revised in 2015, at which time Kawasaki added a few grams of weight to the piston but mitigated that additional weight by incorporating the lighter piston pin to keep the KX250F's top-end weight virtually the same without sacrificing any durability. The engine. Otherwise, it is the same mid-range monster as last year. The Kawasaki's fuel-injected 249cc VOHC engine received a minor change in the form of a stronger bolt in one area inside the engine. Otherwise, it is the same mid-range monster as last year. When we tested the 2014 KX250F, we raved about its strong mid-range punch and willingness to keep pulling in the upper RPM range, but Kawasaki altered the power delivery in 2015 by fitting a heavier ignition rotor, 9.5 kg/cm superscript 2 compared to the 2014's 9.0 kg/cm superscript 2 to bring the power in a little lower in the rev range for improved traction when exiting corners. Like the rest of the engine, except for the aforementioned bolt, that remains unchanged for 2016. Fuel delivery is still handled by another Kawasaki first for the 250cc class, the Keihin fuel injection system DFI that uses a dual injector in its 43mm throttle body. The second injector delivers an extra squirt of fuel under acceleration to maximize the 250F's power, particularly at higher RPM. The second injector is located higher up in the air duct. In 2015, Kawasaki made a slight revision to the system by reducing the downstream injector droplet size to 75 microns. The upstream injector sprays particles with a droplet size of 120 microns. The finer size and wider spray pattern of the downstream injector was intended to fortify the KX250F's low to mid-range power and improve throttle response. Revised ECU settings matched the injector and magneto rotor changes. Even though it was effectively to introduce us to a bike we already knew, Kawasaki staged a press event at Milestone MX Park in Riverside, an essentially flat racetrack with fair-sized jumps that include long tabletops, step UPS, double and triples, most of them with steep faces. Milestone's mostly clay surface can also form hard-faced ruts in the corners. These conditions reward machines with a lot of mid-range power, and fortunately the Kawasaki still delivers.